Hi everyone, Leon here. Welcome back to my channel, the best place for quick tips on relationships. Once upon a time, there lived an old couple. They live a simple life in a simple house. They are not picky eaters, but one thing they both love to eat is chicken. Whenever they have chicken for their meal, the old man would lovingly give his favorite part of the chicken, the drumstick, to his wife, while he ate the breast meat. This goes on for many years until one day, his wife started crying when he put the drumstick on her plate. He was shocked and asked in a concerned voice, "What happened?" His wife replied, "You don't love me at all." The old man was even more shocked now and asked, "Why do you say so?" His wife replied, "The breast meat is my favorite part of the chicken, and yet you have been taking it for yourself all these years. The drumstick is my least favorite, but I bear with it because I love you and I thought you'd share the breast meat with me one day, but you never once did." His needs may not be necessarily her needs. The way you love your partner may not be the way that your partner would want to be loved. Have you ever asked your partner, what could you do to make her feel the happiest? Or are you like the old man in the story who created resentment unknowingly by assuming what he loves is what his wife loves as well? I've just read this book called His Needs, Her Needs by Willard Harley, and I'd like to share with you some of the key learning I've got from this book. In his book, he shares that most often than not, the most important emotional needs for men is the least important emotional needs for women, and vice versa. And because of this difference, couples who fail to meet each other's needs are actually usually a result of ignorance and not selfishness, just like the old couple in the story. So here are the 5 top emotional needs for men and women in his findings. However, he added that every person is unique and may pick any combination of these, but according to his findings, majority of the men and women pick these 5 as their top emotional needs. So, if you really want to find out you or your partner's top 5 emotional needs, there is a tool in this book, in the appendix of this book, to help you identify that. And when you have identified that, communicate with each other on what your top 5 needs are and see how to meet each other's top 5 emotional needs. If you have read The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, this is something similar to the love tank. Willard shares with us that each of us has a love bank. And this love bank analogy uses the deposits and withdrawals of love units to measure how someone can be more significant or less significant in our lives. For example, if Rose did something that made Jack feel loved and important, she would have made some deposits of love units into Jack's love bank account. And the amount of love units deposited will depend on how the receiver thinks if the act is significant or not. If the act is meeting a high emotional needs, then the deposit of love units will be higher. And if it's not meeting a high emotional need, the deposits will be lower. Similarly, if you are making the person feel unloved or unimportant, the receiver will withdraw love units from his love bank account. The more unloved and unimportant you're making him feel, the more withdrawals he will do. Coming back to Rose, say she has accumulated a total of 800 love units in Jack's love bank and has never increased since. Then comes Camilla. Her interactions with Jack has quickly accumulated her a total of 1,000 love units in Jack's love bank. Now, even though Rose's love units were not withdrawn, it has now become less significant as compared to Camilla's love units in Jack's love bank. This is where Jack's attention will start to shift from Rose to Camilla. So, keeping your love units high and increasing it constantly will keep your partner's attention to you. Willard tells us that an affair usually starts from a friendship. And this attraction, more often than not, is not logical, it's emotional. And it happens because you allow another person who is not your partner to fulfill one or more of your emotional needs. For example, if intimate conversation is one of your top emotional needs and your partner is not meeting it, and you happen to meet someone who is willing to listen and show interest in what you say, you will gradually start to open up more to this person. You may feel that it's not a big deal by talking to someone since your partner is not showing interest in what you have to say or your problems. But as time goes by, the conversation will involve more expressions of love and care and concern for each other, which may lead to affection. And if affection is another of your top emotional needs, then it may lead to an affair because that person seems to be more desirable to you right now. This desire for the person is not logical, it's emotional. It's usually based on your projected image of the person because they happen to meet your top emotional needs at the time you needed it most. And because they're meeting it so well, you could be blinded to your other top emotional needs which are still met by your partner. Therefore, Willett suggests and recommends that you do not allow any other person besides your partner to meet your top emotional needs if you want to affair-proof your marriage. I find that this book is easy to read and understand, and Willett gives a lot of examples from the couples he has worked with to illustrate the ideas that he has throughout this book. And I enjoyed it very much. So do pick up this book if you want to affair-proof your marriage by finding out and fulfilling each other's top 5 emotional needs.